If you are the CEO of a coding bootcamp, I have a major gift for you in this video. I'm willing to bet that you're making mistakes with your Facebook advertising. Every single day, it's getting harder and harder to find great students, great talented students, to fill the gaps in your bootcamp's enrollments. The competition has been increasing since COVID-19, right? For most of us, for most bootcamps, we're facing uncertain, stagnant, or even declining enrollments since obviously the start of all of this. So many of us have started to use Facebook advertising to try to grow enrollments and fill the gap so that we can fill the gap between where we are at this point, or where we were rather at this point last year to where we are today. And at first, Facebook advertising probably seemed like a gift from Mark Zuckerberg himself, right? All the cheap leads poured in, and it seemed like a gift from heaven. But after weeks or maybe even months of trying to aggressively have your team chase these leads down, you quickly realize that once you finally got them on the phone a week or two later, the majority of these people aren't really interested. They're tire kickers, or they're simply just don't have what it takes to succeed at a boot camp. They don't have the aptitude or the right attitude to be able to really thrive in an online learning environment and eventually graduate so that they can be placed with your hiring partners. So after months of trying to make Facebook ads work on your own, all you've really done is just create a big mess. You haven't really met your enrollment goals. You haven't seen the ROI or the scale that you were initially hoping for. All right, and I have a bunch of slides, but I'm too into this. Let's see where we are right now. Yeah, I guess the good news is that the majority of boot camps are making the exact same mistakes. Okay, of 95% of the competitors that you have within this industry that are also marketing on Facebook, there's dozens and dozens and dozens, probably hundreds of them that are making the same common mistakes that you're probably making right now. And I'm going to dive into depth to these mistakes within this video. So you're not alone in this and making these mistakes. But the good news is that I'm going to show you the path to a ROI, a return on investment that is meaningful and to the scale that you're looking for in your student acquisition process from Facebook in this video. Okay, there are 5 really specific problems that I'm going to dive into for you, that by fixing these problems, you can really easily add 3, 5, 10 new students each and every month to your bootcamp without having to spend any more on your Facebook advertising campaigns. It's just fixing some common problems, some low-hanging fruit with the way that you're doing things right now. Just switching that is going to get you more students and allow you to do that in a more predictable manner for the same cost that you're paying right now. So this is going to be a longer video. It's going to be more in-depth, more like a masterclass, because I really want to add some serious value for you and show you that I have the skills and the knowledge to really help you to grow. So this is going to be a longer video, but it's going to be filled with actionable advice and strategies that you can use right now, today, to dramatically improve the results that you're seeing from Facebook advertising and grow your enrollments and thus grow your revenue and get your business back to normal. Okay, so there are 5 things, and I'm really messing up on these slides. So the first thing that I want to talk about is writing a better advertisement. Okay, writing a better advertisement. And a sign that you don't have a good advertisement right now is simply the cost that you're paying. Well, not necessarily the cost. You could be paying a good cost per lead and still have a shitty advertisement. But if your click-through rates are around 2 or 3%, your advertisements are not good. Okay, if you are getting leads where people don't answer the phone when they're called, your advertisement is not good. If you're not getting qualified leads, meaning people who actually have the attitude, aptitude, the foundational skill sets of the programming language that you teach, and you're getting on the phone and realizing the majority of people aren't qualified, then the problem is within your advertisement and a few other things that I'm going to get to in a second. But bad leads are a symptom of poor marketing. So to get that point across, what I want to show you is sort of some of the results that I'm getting within my own Facebook advertising campaign. Okay, so you should be at click-through rates easily on average. So I'm hitting an average of 8.7%. Okay, 8.7% is pretty great, but basically that's an indication that you are targeting the right people with the right message. Okay, and it's important that you're not just getting good click-through rates. It's important that you're getting good clicks from the right types of people, right? You're really not marketing to everyone when you're marketing and advertising a coding bootcamp. This is a very specific demographic and subset of people who can handle this process, who are smart and intelligent enough in the right way to become a software developer, to get placed, right? This is a very specific type of person. And the advertisement that you're running right now is likely just a few sentences of copy. It's probably asking someone to apply directly from the advertisement to your bootcamp, and it doesn't give them a lot of information. What I found that works a lot better, as I showed you, through click-through rates of 8.7% and very high quality leads. Even more important than the price you're paying is the quality of these leads, meaning that these are your ideal prospects. You need to write long-form copy in order to call out that ideal candidate and get that type of person to take action. Okay, so what I'm writing in this advertisement right now is specifically to call out the type of person who has already started down their journey of learning to program through various online training resources, like maybe Treehouse or Udemy or YouTube or Free Code Camp or something like that. I'm looking for a person that is spending a lot of time trying to learn the foundations of programming, but they're learning in a way that's super slow and they're running into roadblocks. And the job of this advertisement is to call out and speak to the specific pains of that person. And it does a much better job of finding that person to make sure that the only leads that I'm getting are the people who are interested in what I have to say. Right? So this is an example of that advertisement. So the headline of this advertisement is how I went from zero coding experience to landing my first software development job. So this is basically, I want to basically create an advertisement that only the ideal prospect is going to click on and engage with. If you do not exclude people within your advertisement, you're going to get a lot of tire kickers. Okay, so this is also pretty important. The next thing I want to mention is the landing page and the offer. This is extremely important as well. Excuse me, let me take a drink of water really quickly. This is something that I see commonly and consistently. The biggest problem, or one of the biggest problems, is the majority of coding boot camps are running advertisements that are asking people to apply for their boot camp right away, which, when you think about it, is kind of weird. It's like walking up to a random girl that you see across the street, down the street, or walking down the street rather, walking up to her and asking her to marry you, right? That's weird. No one is going to make a $14,000 decision after just being introduced to you. They've seen an ad from you, and you're asking them to essentially make a $14,000 decision and a 3-month commitment of their time. That's not going to work, okay? The people that do apply to that type of thing are really, the majority of the time, just kicking tires. They might be interested. This is not the right time for them, but, maybe they heard about coding boot camps, but they really haven't started down the process of learning to code or really doing any major research, but they just submitted the application because what the hell, it's just a name and a phone number or whatever. This is the reason why no one's answering the phone when you follow up with them. This is the reason why you're not getting qualified people. It's because on your landing page and on the offer, the thing that you're offering people in your advertisement needs to be different. Right? The landing page, the ad, the offer, these are combinations of things that are going to bring in and determine the quality of people that you eventually get to apply to your program and get on the phone and actually get into your boot camp. Okay? You want to offer something that repels tire kickers and attracts only the type of people who are very serious. So as you can see, this is what I'm offering from that advertisement that you just saw. In this case, I'm selling a sort of like a hybrid coding bootcamp online training course where we give people instruction on, first of all, on the MERN stack, but also there's an element of individual one-on-one feedback, of group coaching, as well as a community involved as well. So this headline makes sense for my program. It's how to learn how to code fast. So first of all, exclusive free training for people learning to code online. So it's calling out the ideal person, someone who already has the motivation to start to learn to code on their own. It's, hey, how to learn how to code fast and land your first software development job in the next 12 months without attending an expensive coding boot camp or having a computer science degree. Obviously, you wouldn't write the same exact headline, but the type of training that I'm giving them is basically information that only a very serious student would want to know. Because as you can see down here in the description, In this training, they're going to learn the top programming language to learn in 2020 to get a high-paying job without a college degree, how to learn to code fast, key learning strategies for self-taught programmers to get job-ready skills in just 3 months. Obviously, this is for people who've already taken a lot of time and been down this learning process, learned some foundational skills already. How to land your first software development job without job experience or a computer science degree. Why applying for your first programming job online is a huge waste of your time and what you need to do instead if you want to find a job quickly. So these are all pieces of information and ideas that will repel somebody who's not seriously interested in learning how to code and is not looking to do that pretty much right now. Because only someone who is seriously interested in learning how to code is going to sign up for this workshop. And it's a much better value proposition because instead of asking for their contact information and details or asking for an application right away, I'm saying, hey, I have something of value for you. I want to give you information. I want to give you some really hard-earned knowledge that I've learned on my own path of becoming a software developer to help you accelerate the time that it takes for you to get there. Okay, so that's very important to realize is the landing page, the thing that you're offering, and the ad all have to align together. Okay? The next thing is the mechanism itself. So this has to do with the offer. Like I mentioned before, it's very important of what you're offering. And in this case, I'm offering an online workshop. A lot of you offer sort of like information sessions, which are good, but you have to be able to frame it in the right way, in a better way, as opposed to offering live information sessions, which are cool too. Live is great if you have the infrastructure in terms of the staff in order to be able to consistently log on a weekly basis to do that. But because I am a smaller operation, I don't have really the time to be able to do that, as well as teach and do all of these other things. So I've created an automated training. So they sign up for this workshop, and it delivers to them this program in an automated way automatically. So they sign up for a specific time. So at 3:15 on Wednesday, December 16th, they sign up and they get this automated workshop. I tell them that it's automated. We walk through it walks through a basic presentation where the job of this is to, again, whittle down to find the top talented people that would actually be interested in signing up for this boot camp. So the mechanism is super important, right? So this is an example of what I'm doing. As you can see, this is a pretty long presentation. The presentation is about an hour, and it goes into the details of the opportunity of learning to program. It tells them my story of how I went to a coding boot camp, learned to program, got a job in software development within 9 months. It tells them information about the opportunity in this industry, how there are over 66,000 jobs for a software developer on Indeed.com. Shows them the average salary for entry-level salary for the skills that I teach. So it really does a great job of having the conversation, of building a relationship, introducing myself, showing that I have value, proving my authority and expertise. And at the end, it goes into details to show people examples of testimonials of previous students that I've had within my program, the results that they've received. So it builds more social proof and credibility, and it offers them an opportunity to apply to my program and speak on the phone. It gives them an idea of where they'll be within 30 days, 90 days, and 12-month mark. So these are typically conversations that your team is probably having on the admissions phone calls, right? They're probably taking 30 minutes to an hour out of their time for each individual prospect to talk through this exact same process that I'm hosting on an automated workshop. So the benefit of this is that I'm using leverage to have this conversation. I'm having the same conversation with hundreds and hundreds of people each week. It's a scalable way in which to go out there and build relationships with quality and qualified people to further whittle away those who are not a good fit, and to ask those who are a good fit and who understand what value you bring to the table and are serious about becoming software developers. It gives them an opportunity to apply to the program. Okay, so that's the importance of having a good mechanism. If you're just asking someone to apply right away, you're going to have to do all of the work manually of having these conversations on the phone that I'm having in this automated workshop. Okay, so the next phase is lead sorting, and this is very, very important as well. Let's see where we are on this presentation. Lead sorting. So you really need a system to automatically identify of the people who sign up for this workshop or sign up for your program. If they're submitting an application right now, you need a way to sort and find the top, let's say 3 to 5% of people who are actually a good fit for your program. You need to be able to separate the wheat from the chaff, meaning that your team should not be investing time trying to follow up with and call people who are not a good fit. So they need enough information to know whether or not someone is a good fit before they spend the time, invest the time trying to get them on a phone call, because that's just a waste of time. Because let's say that 95% of the leads that you're getting to submit an application without understanding if they're qualified, your team is essentially going to be spending 95% of their time chasing after people who are not qualified, spending weeks trying to get them on the phone, sending them emails, when in reality, they're not a good fit anyway. So you need to have some sort of automation that can determine if they're a good fit without having to utilize human labor and thus, human salaries, overhead, benefits, healthcare. You don't have to pay people to do this. You want the machine, the automation to do this. We're software developers, right? So let's develop an automation and machine that can do this for us. So we want the machine to sort and find the top 3% of the people. So the way that we do this is, yes, through the advertisement, yes, through the landing page, and through making sure that the offer that we have is only useful for the type of person who we would want in our program. We do this through the workshop itself that we just showed you, which really is only something that someone who is highly interested in becoming a software developer would even sit through. And they're presented the option and opportunity to apply only after they've been through that stage of vetting process. And then another level of vetting takes place. Okay, so the next step is them submitting an application. And the point of this application is to sort the lead, right? We want to identify those top 3% of people based upon their attitude. We want to make sure that this is the type of person that wants to get started learning to program now, today, and not 4 months from now. We want to determine that this person is really serious, that this is something that they've thought through, that they're willing to make a commitment right now, today. And this is sort of a form that I use to sort through whether or not someone is interested. And there's another level to this. You can also do some sort of logical reasoning or pattern recognition tests. There are some companies that are doing this right now in a very simple way. It doesn't have to be a whole custom coded software project to do that. So for example, this company Makers is asking basically what experience they have with programming. They're asking them to do some simple pattern recognition tests to see if they can identify which do not match. Asking some simple logical tests to determine, whether or not they have the aptitude in order to do so. So it can be pretty simple. It doesn't need to be very complex, but before someone gets on the phone and talks to a member of your team and you utilize that human resource and their limited amount of time in order to talk to them, you need to make sure that they're qualified, so that before they even get on the phone and before they decide to spend their time, they can determine that yes, this is someone that has the attitude to get through this program. This is someone that's serious. This is someone that wants to start now. This is someone that has the financial resources to do so, that determines their aptitude. Yes, this is somebody that can handle the rigors of a program. This is someone that already has foundation in programming skills and has already started to learn. That's the important thing that you need to know before you get on the phone, or even worse, spend weeks trying to contact someone on the phone. You don't want to have to do this manually, okay? And then last but not least, you want an automated booking system, right? It can take weeks just to follow up with someone that's not qualified to try to get them on the phone. Your team is wasting time trying to chase leads around from Facebook. So since our system has already identified the top 3% of people by getting them to submit an application, after they submit the application, we want to give these people an opportunity to schedule a consultation. We call this a strategy session with a member of our admissions team. So only after we've determined that they're qualified, only after that we've determined through our stages of qualification, from the ad to the landing page to the presentation and everything else, do we give them an opportunity to book a time. And it's important to book a time because we don't want just a name and a phone number and have to call these people 37 times just to get them on the phone only to find out that they're not qualified. Okay? Once they book a time, we know that we can use this automated system to basically follow up with them. We can send them a text message an hour before to remind them that their time is coming. And the importance of this is that it increases our connection rate dramatically. So of someone that completes a form and books a time, I typically get about an 85% show up rate. 85% of people actually answer the phone when I call them at the selected time. And of those people who answer the phone and call them, obviously they've been through the vetting process, so they're already the types of person who is capable of getting through a boot camp. I've ascertained whether or not they're the top 3% that have the attitude, aptitude, and the skill level. Okay? So at the end of this, when someone books a time, submits their information, they're put on automatically on my calendar, right? The calendar is important because it allows me to understand on a daily snapshot of who I'm going to talk to. And simply all I have to do is click the calendar, and it makes it easy for me to call the number directly, as well as it submits their application. An application is sent to my email so I can review exactly their answers to the quiz and the application before, so I can determine that they're qualified. If they're not, it's as simple as canceling the application, and that'll automatically let them know that they're not a good fit for the program. There's like an email sequence to do that. So this is already getting pretty long. We're at 21 minutes. I hope that you understand this. The entire point of this video is to get you to understand that if Facebook advertising is not working for you, the problem isn't Facebook. It's the system that you're using to try to capture attention from Facebook. You need a great system in order to be able to sort through the 95, 97% of not fits, of people that don't fit your boot camp, that don't have the attitude, the aptitude, and the skill level. You need a system to weed all those people out automatically and to have them apply, which is another stage of qualifications, and schedule and book a call. The effect of this is that your team wastes so much less time trying to chase around bad quality leads. So just think about that math. If 95% of people who apply and submit a lead form are unqualified, and you're having your team chasing after these people for weeks, your team is wasting 97% of their time. Just by putting together a smart system that finds and identifies that 3 to 5% who are great talent and a great fit, it creates a process in which, through the automated webinar, they build a relationship with your team. They know what your bootcamp has to offer. They see the results that you have gotten for students in the past. They have trust for you. They like you. They know you. They understand what you can do for them. They already are serious about this process. They have the financial resources to move forward. They know that they want to start now. They booked a phone call. They're showing up to the phone call. It just makes it so much easier to find and enroll talented students from Facebook into your program. Okay? And it ends up creating a system where, like clockwork, with the same amount of money that you've been spending right now on Facebook, by setting up a proper system, you can easily pick up 3 to 5 new students every single month without having to spend any more money on ads. And it immediately makes your admissions team 10 times more effective, because you can do so much more with less, because you're not chasing after the 95% of people who have no business applying for your bootcamp anyway. So I am saying all of this to say that if you're interested in setting up a system or a process like this for your business, or if you're just simply interested in talking with me, I have a free 30-minute marketing strategy session that I want to offer you. This is not a sales pitch in disguise. What I want is a high-level conversation with you where I can get to know your specific customer or student acquisition process. And I'm going to dive in deep to try to understand specifically how you guys are doing things, to try and identify where the holes are in your process, so that by the time that you walk away, you'll have clarity about what it is that you need to fix to develop a acquisition strategy that can easily enroll 3, 5, 10, 20 new students within your program every single month, by just being smarter about the automation and the leverage and the system that you're using to find, attract, qualify, weed out the not fits, schedule appointments with your admissions team, get them to show up, and have structured conversations with them that turn into enrolled students. I'm 100% confident that there are half a dozen things that I can give to you that are going to make this process more effective for you and help you to see the ROI and the scale that you're looking for from Facebook. So if you're interested, feel free to shoot me a message on LinkedIn. We can schedule a time that works best for both of us, and I will speak to you soon. Again, my name is Robert of Software Sensei, and I hope this has been of value to you. I will talk to you soon. Bye.